probably going to be Yuumi based on everything we've seen so far, unless they really want to throw a wrench in the gears, but I wouldn't expect it.
Yeah.
Graves is available, though. You know, Kalissa's available. Lucian Nami's available. There's so many high prio picks. Sejuani, another really big one for these teams, especially because both these mid laners do like playing, you know, the melee champs. And we know for sure Zeka would love to do that here. You know, he is on red side on 3. He could easily go towards Akali or the Sylas and pair that with that Sejuani, which would make it such a deadly combo.
Graves Sylas would not surprise me in the slightest. The other option I was thinking about was EDG could just prioritize Aphelios Lulu as well, if they wanted to, but then the question would then come down to, does Scout feel like he has a deep enough pool that he can leverage from? Because the expectation right now is he's going to go Akali. You would look to try and pair the Sejuani up with those two melee solo laners so that she can really be enabled. But do you actually value making sure that Viper and Meiko can have a bot lane where they can have a really strong performance on?
And it's been really interesting because EDG hasn't always gone for the melee pairings with the Sejuani. Pyosik looking like he wants to go back towards Maokai potentially, so he will swap last second here to the Viego. So it is going to be an AD plus an AP pairing there. Going to be really, really nice for Zeka. And it's interesting because last time we were in this situation where Zeka was going for his mid laner into an already chosen Sejuani, he went Akali. I really was talking in that game, I believe it was game 2, that I preferred Sylas because of the stolen engage opportunity there. You can steal away the Sejuani ult, give yourself that potential to engage. You called out the potential for the Aphelios.
This is the response. Okay, so this is actually really smart. Okay. I was thinking, what are they going to do if they then do Aphelios and Lulu? But EDG is sitting there and telling me like, well, you know what, we'll scrap the Lulu and we'll just lock in the Akali. So Scout on this Akali. It's going to be a big skill matchup in the mid lane. DRX hovering the Malphite right now. An old school answer into the Aphelios.
So what's interesting, though, is Scout hasn't been a big Akali player this year. Fiora is going to come through as the top lane play. We'll see if they flex the Sejuani and Kingen comes through. That matchup clapped last time for Flandre, so we'll see if that ends up being the play yet again. But though he's got a historically good win rate on Akali back in time, it's only 8 total plays, and none of them are, you know, summer split onwards.
It was mainly at this World Championship where we've seen a lot of Scout success on the Akali, especially during the group stages. I feel like that we saw some really incredible performances from him. We'll see if he can look to emulate those performances here. The Renekton now being removed from the top side of the map. They're trying to limit some of the good matchups that can be played into Kingen's Fiora.
Yeah, I wonder if they do go for the Kennen again, you know, because as you said, we saw that matchup earlier, I believe. It was Kennen into Fiora, right?
Yeah,
Yes. So definitely something that they might want to limit, but then if you do that, then you're not banning out the Lulu, right? So there's only so many options you can go towards.
Gang playing.
So banning out the GP, very interesting. I wonder if they are concerned enough about the Lulu that they would take it. I don't think they will because it's BeryL, and I think he wants a support pick on 5 to try to get an answer. But there is always that possibility if you're really concerned about this Aphelios plus Lulu combo.
You know what I'm thinking? Jinx needs to be banned right now after EDG.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's Deft's classic pick here, and it is a great answer into the Aphelios, so it is the Varus instead. Now, Deft just slam it down.
If I was DRX, I would consider a Lulu pick now into the Jinx. But perhaps they want to make sure that they can get the support counter pick.
Exactly. They want support counter pick, I think. And this is the opportunity, man. It doesn't get any better than this when you're thinking about it. In a pivotal game 5 here.
Okay, so they're going to actually stick to what we were talking about. But the fact that they go for Karma opens them up for the Ezreal as well. It does suggest, remember how lethal Deft's Ezreal was. It is his all-time most played. He's very comfortable on the champion. When you associate the name Deft, it is often with the Ezreal champion. We'll see if they do decide to lock that one in.
And nearly was able to take down that game. You know, in game 2, that was the Ezreal game where he's 1 auto away from actually knocking down the Nexus here. Jax as the answer. Jax, I will say, we have not seen as many impressive games on the pick in Worlds. Has been brought out a number of times as an answer to Aatrox, as an answer to Fiora. People have been struggling. You can see 36% win rate on it so far through Worlds. The Lulu, the expected pairing here into the Karma, will give the poke edge over to Deft and BeryL. And I am kind of expecting, as you said, Vedius, I am expecting it to be just going towards that Ezreal. It does mean, though, that really your only engage, again, then, is a stolen Sejuani ultimate. So they're going heavy for this poke lane. Most played pick all time for Deft here. Extreme comfort for him. Extreme comfort for Zeka as well.
And what I'll say is that in the Ezreal game last time, there wasn't much threat onto the backline. That is very different now. You have an Akali that is dead set on executing Deft. there's a bit of a personal history there with Scout and Deft, and Scout said, it's nothing personal, you know, I'm gonna stand, if you're standing in my way, I'm gonna have to take you down because you're just my opponent. And on Akali, that is the perfect champion for being able to find and execute this very mobile AD carry.
And again, it's a lot of squishy members over on the other side here. You know, on both teams, there is a lot of threat coming through here.
As well, and now poised to reverse sweep the reigning world champions. And a date with the LCK champions to move on from there. Deft would love to add that Summoner's Cup to his trophy case. We'll see if EDG can stand in their way.
Viper back to the Ghost, so it's the same setup he had in that last game, in the game 2, when it was the Aphelios, where he gets that solo kill on a Deft. He was playing Ghost in that one as well. And we can see again, it is Ghost Fiora also. Looking for the nice little wraparound here, but EDG had the read that they could be coming over the wall. That's why they placed their ward there instead of in the tri-brush, so that they could spot Zeka with that E-start coming over the wall, and it will allow them to go for an invade of their own and get down some vision here.
Pings from Pyosik. He has spotted out the Jax.
Minions
We'll see the Sejuani returning as well. I'm sure that EDG are not expecting Pyosik to just be sitting here in this brush. Does give DRX a lot of information as to what EDG are up to. How will Pyosik respond though? He could just move straight into the blue. Maybe they're looking to punish.
And Fiora's around. I mean, this is actually a 3-on-2 if they take the fight. Sylas could obviously be there first. There isn't much to be done. A quick defensive trinket ward into Pyosik starting on his own red buff. It's going to be the start. Sejuani going to get a small leash to play for her own top side. So both these junglers, at least starting top to bot, see where they end up. I feel like this lane is very hard to gank.
Yeah, definitely. It is double first strike here for DRX, both BeryL and Deft going for that. So much is about landing the poke here. And you can see, as soon as Deft uses Q, Viper step forward with the sniper auto to actually poke off that first strike to get a nice little trade in. And we'll see how well DRX can play this out, because when you are playing Karma Ezreal, this can be a very weak side lane or it can be incredibly impressive. It all depends on how many of your skill shots you're able to land. If you're hitting everything, it can be really hard for a champion like Lulu to lane into it.
Keep your eyes on the early CS discrepancies, and you can already see Kingen off to a good start. Of course, there's still a large wave up on the top side for him to be able to catch, but this Fiora versus Jax matchup, another big skill matchup. We see Zeka with a very good trade. Notice that Scout just used the Q. Q at level 1, 130 energy. Of the 200 energy that Scout has, it's a lot, which means that there's not really much you can do unless you skill the W up second. JJ will be spotted out on the red buff, but Zeka playing around those windows very well. Of course, a very experienced Akali player himself, understands how to play the matchup very well.
As camps go down, we see bot lane pressure indeed belongs to DRX. I mean, they played for Ezreal Karma. This is one of the most lane control wave pressure lanes you can play. This is the team that was playing Heimerdinger earlier on, had the pressure there as well, playing around bot pressure. It's Pyosik. You see that, okay, you are on Raptors now. Knew he went for the red. Knew he had done 3 camps up to it. Knew which ones he cleared. Raptors rep doesn't matter though. Scout playing far enough away. Realizes that Pyosik is indeed here. An early control ward, spotted it out. Pyosik sees that no one is coming down towards him and will kill off the control ward.
Yep, gonna be able to take away JJ's control ward there. JJ, though, can just go up towards topside, grab a scuttle of his own, so it will just be a trade of scuttles here. Scout does have a little bit of the push in the bot lane for DRX, of course, is having push of their own. Gonna be able to farm away on some of those turret plates here pretty early. We'll see exactly how much damage they can get done.
I love watching Akali versus Sylas matchups. I think that there's typically, in the very early laning phases, Sylas can get a small edge, but Akali, with the consistent sustain that you do have, actually going for the Doran's Ring rather than the Doran's Shield, opting more for a little bit more damage in the trading path. Obviously doesn't have any mana issues. See Zeka very low.
Oh, goes in! Wants the solo! Oh, you gotta be kidding me! Scout replace it! Might not have had Q! And Zeka gets the first blood.
I don't think Scout had the energy for it.
Out of energy.
He ran out of energy. He went for the flash follow on the Q, but he didn't have it. We gotta watch that replay again. I wanna see for sure, but I think he ran out of energy on the flash follow, and Zeka makes him pay in game 5. It is Zeka with first blood in the 1v1 here.
Unbelievable. That was actually unbelievable.
He could die to this. Like, I don't know how you, I guess with the 2-on-2 they feel good enough. They're actually gonna look for Pyosik who flashes, they find the stun, follow, and counter-strike is there! And JJ's gonna get the kill credit. He needed help for the top wave and he gets it in time.
Pyosik just ran it. That was That was terrible. He went straight in with the W stun, but he was a mile away, and then you're walking through Sejuani plus Jax, and it's a massive wave. It's not as though Kingen can even help you here, so let's watch this one more time. We can't see the exact, so it's 200 max energy or so.
At level 4, it's 115 energy to cast the Q.
Yeah.
I think he has it, right? The bar is yellow.
No,
I think he's just
crossed over.
I really think he's just short.
I agree. He was about 104, 105. He realizes his mistake there.
That's got to be so frustrating. He was like, I played this perfectly up until the point where he realized, oh no, I don't quite have the resources. If he was level 5, that would have been a kill.
Yep.
But Zeka ends up quick reflexes getting the better of his lane counterpart.
And right when Scout went down, he was in fact 1 energy short. So he was at 114 out of 115 energy as he died. I'm not sure if when he died, if he was still quite in range or not, but incredibly close to being able to actually finish him off. But luckily for EDG, Pyosik donated one back on the top side with a really poor gank.
But in terms of the mid lane matchup, we talk about how this is very much a skill matchup. Being able to come back into lane with Lost Chapter, it's massive. Like, small or single kills like that can change the dynamic of the 1v1 so dramatically. And now that Zeka does have that experience advantage as well, it's something that Scout is going to have to be very cautious of. Kingen looking for a bit of a favorable trade hit. Doesn't quite have the mana to overcommit, but still gets a bit of damage off.
And once again, crushing the lane outright. We got to play now on the top side there. Flash in. Can he find the stun? Yes! Reinforcements. Junjia will not go quietly into the night.
The jungle diff up towards the top lane. JJ gets a kill up there, then back towards mid lane, punishing Zeka, who has no flash. EDG 2-1 now. Scout picks up the kill, and mid lane is right back to parity.
Exactly. That's exactly the play that JJ needed to do. I really liked how he was playing around Scout last game in the early to enable him on the LeBlanc. I imagine that Scout's being like, hey, I just need a single gank. He's got no flash. He has my ultimate, but it doesn't matter. We can lock him down. And again, we saw the advantage of running that melee mid matchup with the Sejuani. Very quick to stack up those passive stacks, and they're able to lock down Zeka and secure a kill into an early Drake.
And this is huge. Yeah, they grabbed that dragon as well. You can see the bot lane for DRX has not really created much of an edge. In fact, it looks like maybe even a couple more CS for Viper to pick up. They're basically at parity now and likely will be after these waves all go down. So EDG, I think, going to be feeling really, really good about the early minutes here in this Game 5.
Of course, the gold is still very even, and I think it's important to recognize that EDG throughout the series have had a number of games where they've gotten the early kill lead, but it's not necessarily resulted in an early gold lead. DRX have done a great job of investing in early plates and finding those advantages. Pyosik, though, wants to make amends, is hovering around the top side.
Because Flandre has mana, he'll be okay. JJ coming around. It does not get spotted in any way up there. Viper walks in for a lot. Ulti forcing the flash away from Deft. Karma does not deal nearly enough damage. Goes for first strike to earn more gold, do more poke, but without Guardian, that damage sticks a lot better.
Man, Viper just got such insane value out of that Ghost. Just goes straight in on top of them. Even has that move speed still at the end to actually sidestep just barely Deft's ultimate. Getting an excellent trade, forcing out the flash there from Deft and the ignite from BeryL for just the Ghost, which is that shorter cooldown compared to the flash. Viper again showcasing just how good he is.
Dodging all of it, using the fleet move speed that time around, get away from the chains. Nice sidestep there by Meiko as well, getting out from Deft. Of course, Tier Sheen is the buy you want in Ezreal, but running a bit low on mana. Could mean that this lane can get a little bit tougher for him, so he can't spam the Qs quite as hard. Pyosik coming around the bottom side, sees a red buff is up, goes, I think I got this one. Sejuani actually, other side of the map, will get a steal.
Sejuani's looking like she's wrapping around towards mid, actually, you know, trying to pressure again, but has been spotted by that ward. So could look for a gank still, but Zeka should be able to play far back enough that he's not really in trouble. I'm surprised, though, that Pyosik was going to reset. He should look for a gank bot, it feels like, because they saw Sejuani on top side, and Lulu Aphelios are pushing, so they're going to go for it now.
Flash follow, but Deft pretty far zoned away. Here comes the jungle. Is it enough for him? Lands the Q. Ulti is a knockback. Viper buys what time he can, goes for BeryL, can't kill him. Pyosik's on the board, 2-2.
A good play from DRX. They recognize they need to make the cross map happen, and Viper and Meiko are pushed up way too far without having proper jungle support. They definitely can.
Misses. Stun might be enough. Flashing away from it, looks in for some damage to Deft, but he flashed just to find himself dead. Gifts away a summoner spell.
That is massive, and even Deft gets the kill there. They take a plate, too. Flandre on the top side, though, is pressing, and EDG did claim a Herald back on the other side of the map, so that's big for them. And it looks like they want to continue this pressure around mid. JJ just constantly hanging around Scout here, trying to help this Akali snowball.
EDG find themselves at a gold deficit, and DRX securing a couple kills on the bot side of the map. A much needed early advantage. DRX, they are struggling in the top lane, now struggling in the mid lane. And again, you kind of look at the minimap and you can see that jungler on the top side of the map, EDG, they don't really need to force this wave underneath the tower. They can just let it bounce towards them. But instead, they want to try and catch another wave and then look to reset. Pyosik in the right place at the right time, able to get a good punish. And then you can see here, Meiko, no mana, means that there's very little he can do to get out of this situation.
Honestly, so much of it was just about this ward on top side, right? That one ward that actually spotted the Sejuani. If it weren't for that, I don't think DRX actually looked for this dive, and Zeka potentially even dies in mid. So that ward paying massive dividends as Pyosik was already down on that red buff. You know, he was actually resetting after, was starting the recall, but they spot him. And Zeka now has the crown, so he's actually going for the more defensive option here, not the Ever-Frost we normally see.
Scout deciding not to commit to the fight here. Crown being completed does mitigate some of the burst potential from Scout. If nothing else, it forces the Akali to wait. You know, you have to proc the crown and then you have to wait for it to disappear, and that doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing for an Akali, given that she has to wait with her ultimate anyway, but buying time when playing against an Akali is always a valuable thing.
Absolutely, and my expectation is we're just going to see Scout go Rocket Belt, and then they basically have the same cooldown, so you just end up trading it out constantly. You just use the Rocket Belt to proc up the crown, and then you just wait to bide your time there. Pyosik lightly spotted by that pink ward in the brush. Yeah, pinged out now, so they do know he was in the area.
Yeah, see if he can poke up that ground again. 2 force available. Ulti. Nice read. He was on, you know, his own brush. He was in Fog of War, but it's like, typical Ezreal stuff. Walks in the Fog of War, looks for the ulti. Both of them jukes to the top side to get away. Deft pretty happily wave clearing down here. Once again, going for the Trinity Force build on the Ezreal. My preferred build. I think it's the correct one. He does it now twice in a row.
2 world-class AD carries continuing to go toe-to-toe in the laning phase. Just a spectacle and a joy to watch. The mid lane is now down to 1.
He has ulti. R2, I believe, has landed for much right there, but Crown was on the whole time. Doesn't take basically any damage the way back, as far as I can tell. Really comes for one of this one. A red buff steal going to come through right under Pyosik's nose.
JJ does have the Rift Herald. Pings are coming down into the mid lane. Scout does have the ultimate available. The Crown is there as well. Looks like Scout's just going to choose to reset. Oh, no, he actually wants to catch this wave. But look at the Lulu moving into mid lane as well. EDG is saying, Zeka, if you try to trade onto me, you are going to lose your life.
BeryL lands the E. They can follow this one, but Zeka could also put him towards the turret, land the stun, get a big heal. No kill to be had. And
I think they actually spotted Meiko right there. That ward in mid lane caught the edge of the Lulu, so he wasn't going to go aggressive there. Karma was also moving down. Kingen, I think, spotted there by JJ.
They spotted him, yep.
Now hover the ward.
DRX are all over the mid lane right now. 2 in the bot side river. Wonder, is that the dragon being started off? It looks like that it is. DRX looking to trade in terms of early objectives. JJ will be spotted on this ward, but this means an easy cross map for EDG. They have the Herald, they have a wave stacking up, and as Scout returns to the mid lane, there's very little that Kingen can do to stop this.
Yeah, I mean, with Viego so far away, that is the entire tower to the top side. So finally, Flandre getting a lot of reinforcements here, and JJ, he did attack the turret, so he is, of course, easily in local gold range, shares 400 to himself. Not a full funnel towards the Jax here, but obviously after the races.
Yeah, I mean, it was Kingen who was winning that 1v1, you know, actually ahead in the farm, despite the fact that Pyosik did give over that kill, the 1 assist to the Jax. But now with that Herald getting the first tower, obviously Jack's going to be quite a bit ahead, but on the bottom side, they are at least trading some gold back here. Spell Thief's Karma, of course, anytime you have push, if you're playing Spell Thief's support, it's really nice to farm that gold off the tower. And it's their 4th blade now here, down in that 2v2. Definitely feeling really good about that. Won't be able to quite finish off the tower here, but we'll see exactly how much. Oh, he's actually staying in because the blades fell. Yeah, so it gets very weak there after 14.
Well, look at that. First turn of the game did go EDG's way, but you can see DRX up 1,300 gold. Some of that sure is first strike on the entire bot lane, but honestly, looking very good here with Deft up 6 CS. 1-0 and 1 there as well. Scout going to find his play on the top side. Fiora comes across and gets many of the markers here. Has to flash away because that ulti tick could have guaranteed the rest of it. Kingen honestly burns a shorter cooldown. Zeka going to force away Scout.
Oh, The flash there, I think, was a little surprising, but he recognized that Zeka and Pyosik were making their way up towards the top side of the map, and he realized that he was at a pretty significant numbers disadvantage. The good news is that it's going to be a long time before Kingen can get to the bot side, because Scout interrupting his base means that Flandre has a huge amount of time here, and he should be able to secure this tower completely uncontested, meaning that EDG can equalize the gold a little bit easier.
Yeah, and that's just going to kind of leap Flandre ahead. You know, he got that first tower gold up on the top side. Now he gets another isolated tower down on the bottom side. He's going to start feeling really good in this matchup. It is one that I do think starts to favor the Jax more and more the later the game goes. And he's now over 1,000 gold ahead of his counterpart, thanks to that Herald Crash top and his isolated time in the bot lane.
Yeah, the previous game ended with a 12,000 gold lead in DRX. 4,000 of that was Kingen over Flandre. He was a third of the entire lead. This one is tied, and Flandre is up 1K himself. The rest of the map still looking very good on the DRX side. And unfortunately for EDG, they had not, in the prior games, found a lot off of Flandre's leads. His side laning hadn't gotten them much purchase. Zeka changes here to this one, is going to get rid of the control ward and now playing for the second Herald.
Okay, DRX in a position to contest this. Kingen has been brought up. The ultimate goes through, does some damage on a Meiko.
Zeka gets the Akali ult, can be an assassin. Now they've got the Jax around, a close fight. Who's going to win it is the question. He comes in to join the squad. Zeka, maybe in a bad spot, has burned his E, but they can't quite push him away. They want to bop off the shield, then find the rest. Looking for a smite combo here, claimed, but is it going to be enough now? Zeka jumps over the wall, stays alive, still a 5-on-5. Herald claimed, but will it matter? Good poke out of Deft, good sidestep on that Q.
Yeah, EDG able to claim it. DRX not willing or able to really fully commit to that. I think they were hoping to get more poke down and really try to push them off because they don't really have any go buttons here. You can't just run in with the Viego into that team. You'll just get burst down. So without JJ committing his ultimate or anything like that, there was not really a window for them to do it.
EDG choosing to avoid the fight and just walk away with the objective. Overall, I think that they're going to be pretty happy with that. They can use this now to break open that mid-tier 1. Dragon spawns in about a minute's time, so they can hold it for that, making sure that they guarantee prio in the mid lane. Pyosik just hovering around Zeka. Zeka going for a bit of a cheeky trade underneath the tower. Yeah. But Scout now needs to... Oh, I'm actually surprised. I was expecting him to reset. He must be very close to having enough gold. Yeah, he is, in fact, very close to having enough gold to secure that upgrade, which means that he will have the rocket belt ready for the dragon spawning in a minute's time.
Here comes the dive on in, wants to find on it against the first stun! Nearly a kill and a Scout! Needs to get the shot! Oh! You gotta be freaking kidding me! Zeka crushes the 1-on-1 again!
Back-to-back solo kills for Zeka in this 1v1. The first one, you could say, Scout overplayed his hand, but this time, Zeka, no tower involved, gets the outplay, gets the 1v1 solo kill.
I'm telling you, the difference in that is whether he completed Rocket Belt or not. Like, the fact that he decided to commit to that rather than just looking for the reset. He wanted to keep the tower alive, and while he did do just that, he handed a kill over to Zeka. Beautiful play from the mid laner of DRX.
Zeka, Sylas, the man is built different on this champion. The respawn's come in time to play for it right now. Still close in gold, a flash forced away from Deft. Keep in mind, no cleanse means the escapes from Sejuani are not there. Herald charging to mid, will nearly end mid lane turret.
And we'll just see now, it's EDG moving into the river, trying to grab their second dragon here. BeryL does have the tether onto Flandre.
Flandre could be taking a lot of damage here, puts the ulti down, but still loses half his health bar. Nearly drops stones back to his team. You can see how much damage DRX can put down. And Kingen is here. Lulu ult required. He can't quite find his way in. But off of the disengage out of BeryL, Flandre can't fight and DRX get the river.
I mean, DRX just had such a good read on the situation there. The route from BeryL onto Flandre allows him to land so much poke, and then seeing that the ultimate was coming in from Viper, everyone on DRX backsteps, avoids the ultimate there from Viper, and they get that big HP advantage, but it is Flandre TPing back into the team. Scout on the flank.
Has the ulti still, no flash, but that might not matter. 9,000 on the Drake. One apiece so far. Flandre leading the charge. Yeah. No ulti there either. Scout wants to jump in, gets hit with the stun, looks for Deft, misses a shuriken, but they're gonna find the damage. The rest of the squad dives on in. Scout no longer has the invisibility, but they found the stun into Kingen. Will it be enough though? In goes Flandre, buys some time, but it's Pyosik going for everything that he possibly can.
The reset!
Gets the reset, and he's gonna do it all! Deft may not get the kills, but his teammates are here to back him up. Flandre left alone. He's certain to fall, certain to die, and you can hear this crowd cheer for DRX.
EDG is wiped off the map. DRX are looking to make the reverse sweep happen, and even though Deft lost his life, it is Zeka and Pyosik that come up clutch. Exquisite performance in the fight allows them to shut EDG down. They will take the mid tower, they will take the Drake, and they are looking to make history.
What a fight there. This was a great start, though, from EDG. You see Scouts waiting down here. They had already forced the flash off of Deft, so they just corral Deft into Scout, and they get that initial kill. But then it's about Zeka and Kingen on that top side of the fight here. Coming in, Scout has used all his cooldowns. JJ tries to commit. Zeka goes in and just is bursting down Scout alongside Pyosik, who comes in, gets the first execution and the reset, and then Zeka softening up the second one, gives him another reset, another onto Sejuani as well. The Viego just gets that first kill and he goes off.
The mid-jungle combo absolutely popping off. DRX, you can see the elation on
cheerleading from the sideline on that one.
He may very well be making his way back to the World semi-final. And the excitement from the DRX crew backstage. Elation. Of course, this game isn't quite over yet, but with a 3.5K gold lead, it is certainly looking good for DRX.
Yeah, the cards are in their hands. We'll see if they can make good on this advantage now. Has been an incredible comeback in this series for DRX. Definitely a team that has not been a favorite by any stretch of the imagination in this tournament. You know, people definitely didn't have the confidence in them to succeed in the way that they would a Gen G or a T1, but DRX are showing they are a force to be reckoned with here.
For sure, and the growth, the incredible growth that they've made in the short time of this tournament has just been spectacular to watch. So many players stepping up, question marks surrounding Zeka. Well, what are you going to do if he doesn't get his champions? Well, what are you going to do when he does? The man looks incredible, and DRX are looking to continue this aggression.
Pretty good here, steals the Akali, finds the stun. R2, is it going to land? A flash, it's early from Scout. Zeka waits him out and says, why the hell did you give me Sylas again?
Back-to-back-to-back solo kills from Zeka in the 1v1 against Scout. What a monster.
The man is just better. They're looking for more. JJ being forced away from the tower. Zeka is feeling so confident right now.
It has just been such an incredible tournament for Zeka. The clear MVP from play-ins, played incredible in groups. He's a player who comes to the world stage as a largely an unknown for those outside of the LCK, and has really had one of the most impressive international debuts you could imagine. This guy has been playing out of his mind, and you say, what happens when he doesn't get his champions? Well, it turns out last game, he just crushes you with the Azir, right? Like, he really is showing a huge level of growth. This is a very young player, 19 years old, I do believe, for DRX, and just making it look like he's a longtime veteran here.
And I mean, he's 2 levels up. He lands absolutely every single skill. He waits for Scout to flash, and it's clean, man. Starts with the W, has the ult up at the end. Oh, no. Oh, no. You had to go and do it to him. JJ now face-checking BeryL.
Oh, this is going to be a lot of pain for Sejuani. Has ulted up by the Fiora. Getting the last of the marks. Thank you for the heals. And it's going to be now actually immune to the stun there as well. Can't really move around. Takes the kill. King inside. 2-0-3. Flandre forced to run out now.
Oh, not again.
Number 4 in a row. Zeka 6-1-2.
The man is just better. Zeka, unbelievable performance. 6-1-2, wipe Scout off the map, and you just can't see DRX losing this game.
Zeka is in the zone. This guy is playing on another level here in Game 5. 4 solo kills against Scout is an absolutely incredible performance. He'll knock down the tier 2 as well, and he's closing in on that 3rd item.
In his 2 years in the LPL, he could not get the better of Scout. He fell short every time they met. In the 3 best of 3s, it was always Scout that came out on top. But today, things are looking to change. Zeka, his champion pool was questioned, but you can't question it anymore.
I gotta point out, this is the first playoff match that he might even win. He didn't play a single postseason game in 2 years in the LPL and dropped out first round this year both times in the LCK. Regional qualifier, 5 games against KT Rolls to the first BO5 he wins in that metric. Goes to the final regional qualifiers in 5 games, beats Liv Sandbox. Now goes to the world stage against the reigning world champions. Goes game 5 there as well, and is the single biggest difference in the match.
It is just incredible to watch here, and EDG feels like just falling apart a bit now, but Zeka's going in!
Looking for the fight, he's got Scout's number, but is it gonna be too much? Has to for the stopwatch. Will he have safety? Will he have the team? Flashes back out, stun's not gonna land. A little bit of damage from Viper. Drake is alive. They find the stun, ult out for Pyosik, stays alive himself. Scout waiting the fog, waiting in his own shroud. He will get rid of the control ward if they get river control.
That Mikhail's from BeryL was huge. He just completed it, was able to Mikhail's the Sejuani ultimate off of Pyosik there, keeping him alive, and Kingen now threatening the flank.
They see him.
What are they gonna do? Can Viper do enough? Can Scout do enough? Ulti still saved on the Akali. Spots BeryL. That's the root. That's going to be enough damage. Follows the E on in. Can he find the kill? Gets it. Scout's on the board. 4-12, but is it enough? Kingen's still on the wide. On the side. Going to spot out Scout. Decent damage. Can blast plant but over, but keep in mind, Scout has no way to heal back up.
He needs to go back to base. He does have the teleport, and he can rejoin the fight.
Exactly, he's got a TP back, and they have the Warmogs on JJ, so he's healing it right back up. EDG taking a commanding position in this area. Kingen is spotted, but Flandre's gonna mark him here.
Kingen riposed a bit early, Q's back away, Zeka gets a blue buff, TP coming back in now. Jungler's still alive, it is not Soul, but the stacks certainly matter. Claims it, Deft pushed out, no Shuriken to land. But now they're zoned out of the fight, and there is no play to be had. Down 7,000 gold. EDG find a kill, and they get an objective bounty off the Drake.
What a critical moment there for EDG. If you take this fight down this far, you lose it. The game is likely over. It would be the Baron as well for DRX. They get the 1 kill onto BeryL, and they keep their hopes alive here at Worlds, moving to their 2nd dragon.
It's still a terrifying position.
Oh, they're going to start it.
EDG to be in Zeka.
They're going to start
level
it.
16. He is by far the highest level in the game. And here we are. Baron started for DRX.
Running it down. Deft TP's on in, and it's time for EDG to find out what they can do about this one. 8,000 health. And the poke is going to be pretty massive out of Deft right here. Steals Sejuani ult to find the engage. Bot lane turret already dropped. Flandre was given so many resources and yet cannot keep up against Kingen. Burned his own ulti. Now there is a TP up for Flandre. He's gonna walk back to the base, get his mana bar back in. Not find too much more. Ooh, a chance. They're gonna find the stolen stun. Is it enough for the kill? Trying to live as long as he can. True shot barrage hits 3. Meiko nearly dead. Deft finds the kill, and Scout could be next.
Viper!
Away, but Viper is unwilling to lose just yet.
When you have Viper, there is always hope for EDG. This man sees the angle, goes in, almost takes them all down, does get just the 1 kill, but it costs him his flash, it costs him his Gale Force, and it does mean he's gonna be very vulnerable in this next fight, but still, the respect has to be paid. Viper, the best AD carry in the world, he has nearly the IE now. We can watch this one more time as DRX are closing in on EDG.
You can just see the power of Zeka, level 16 to level 12. Oh, the damage is unbelievable as Meiko is forced out. JJ is just trying to buy time for his team, and if Pyosik had just ulted again here, he would have gotten that kill into Scout, but he didn't have information as to where he was. Then Viper flashes in with the ultimate. The Infernum doing so much work, forces DRX back, and this is what DRX have to be careful of. Yes, you are strong. You have control over the game, but confidence can be a killer, and you have to make sure that you control this game to a clean victory.
Absolutely, but Viper there, really clean combo, ult, Gale Force, flash, Q, auto, all with the Infernum, but you have to be worried now about can they keep Viper safe here. He has no summoners available.
Scout still got 3 kills, has some damage. TV's coming back in to reinforce the Baron play. 5,000 health, JJ doesn't see it. It's still getting put lower and lower. 2,100, they find the stun. They keep the jungler out, and it's Deft. Who else? Who claims the Baron? Kingen holds the front line. They're trying to find that kill on a Fiora. Mikhail's flash, triple stun, but not a single man dies. Pyosik can't find the kill. Zeka has the Zodiacs, and Zekas will die. DRX desperate for anti-venom. Viper finds another.
Viper gets the shutdown as well there. That is massive, but it is still the Baron on 4 for DRX. It is just the 1 kill, a pittance for EDG, but it should get him towards the IE here. That is a big buy.
You can see the support from the crowd coming in strong. All of the EDG faithful are believing in Viper right now. There are very few AD carries in the world that are able to bring their team back from a deficit like this, but Viper has done it before, and he will look to do it again as we look back at this fight.
It's just a great zoning play here from Kingen and Zeka. The stolen Sejuani ulti onto the Sejuani allows them to finish the play here. And then Flandre in on Kingen, you start thinking, hey, there's opportunities here as Viper and Flandre flashing forward after the Mikhails was used. 3-man stun, but the follow-up is not really there, and Zeka's threatening on the side, so Viper can't fully commit.
Viper really wants to, though, and the moment that they see Zeka invest the stopwatch, they're like, we've got a kill here. This is an opportunity. You can see how close Scout is to landing the E, but he can't quite connect it onto Deft, which means that there's no cleanup kill onto the AD carry. 4 members walk away with the Baron, and now EDG is forced on the defense once again.
IE completed now for Viper. Azael on top. I believe that was a 900 gold shutdown that he was able to pick up. That is massive, but it's still DRX.
Deft! I've seen this before. Does not get the kill, but Deft can no longer fight this one.
Oh my word, Viper just looked DRX in the eye and said, you will not cross this line. But the tower still falls. TP now committed. The Dragon up in 25 seconds, but Viper doesn't have his ultimate.
Not a required fight. It is not Dragon's Soul. Would be number 3 for DRX, and EDG might decide not to play with Viper, missing 2 crucial cooldowns, no flash, no ulti, and actually right now no Gale Force either. Only Meiko is his back pocket summoner spell.
Yeah, and very little vision in the area. It's very shallow vision here for EDG. I think the call is to just give it up. You do not play for this Dragon here with no summoners on Viper, I think. It's just too damn dangerous when you don't know where these members could be. Zeka has flash, Pyosik has flash. It would be so risky to go for it. And Kingen just pushing on the side here has the, has the hull breaker pushing down here. So he's committing to the split push, but BeryL in trouble. Oh, the self-Mikhails, that was beautiful.
Not sure if stun landed or not.
Crazy,
Either way, the button walks away. Smite claims the red. I believe that's actually JJ who gets it. He is at least wearing a red buff here.
Oh my god, Viper now level 15. Scout has had a really difficult game, falling short to Zeka at every turn, and is only level 14. He's very far behind in terms of gold and experience. Zeka is getting closer and closer to that death cap. Kingen in the side lane as well continues to be a nuisance. Doesn't have that much of an advantage over Flandre. You can see in terms of the isolated 1v1. It's a difficult matchup for both top laners right now. Viper is really the player that we're looking at for EDG. He's pulled this team back from the depths before. The main reason why EDG is considered a world-class team fighting team is because of this man in the bot lane, but he will be going up against Deft, a world-class AD carry in his own right, looking to return to the semifinals after many years.
The gold lead is significant, but the longer the game goes, the less it starts to matter here. It has not really extended much over the last 5 to 10 minutes, so DRX still with a solid advantage, especially in mid lane, a monster advantage as the death cap has done 4 completed items for Zeka. He is that massive threat. But as Viper can have the perfect team fight, if they can create the space for him, speed him up with the Lulu, he can surely take over a game.
Not quite going to kill frontline as he is on the Zeal, instead of something like the Last Whisper. Goes for Hurricane. He wants to hit all of the melee champions. It's against triple melee. That'll look really good with Inferno in a team fight where he hits everybody. That's actually going to be really, really good damage. He's killing everybody.
Zeka now hits 18. Really capping out here. Can build one more item, but max experience, yeah, has that death cap.
Scout can't go anywhere near him. He can't. There's no way you win that 1v1.
I mean, we've already seen Zeka tie the record for this year's Worlds for most solo kills, tied with 4. Robo had that. The all-time record is actually 6 from No Man, so we'll see if he can find 2 more to tie that one this game.
Observers are pointing out the ward behind. Question is, do they know that Zeka's there? Well, they must know. They must have seen him looking around. Yeah. They definitely know. He's not going to overstay his welcome, though. He realizes that Fiora hasn't quite pushed in the bot wave.
Oh, they're looking.
Now they
looking
know.
For the stun. Only a slow, though. Zeka gets blue spited. Not going to matter. Loses the shell, but he's fine. A bit of blast pant. Back to safety. Had flash if he needed it. Doesn't matter here. Pyosik going to see Jeje. Not going to matter too much either.
So they're just funneling more resources into Viper, trying to get him as much XP and gold as possible. You can see now he will have the Infernum. Working towards those white guns. after the purple one.
Yeah, it's just all about the dragon fight. I don't think DRX are going to commit to anything unless they see an incredible opportunity they can't pass out. Because it's only 2 minutes here until this soul that they could grab. The Ocean Soul would mean a lot when you're playing these style of Pokemoms.
So a couple things is that Scout is very close to getting level 16, which is a big deal because it means 3 points in your ultimate, which is a lot more damage. On top of that, he's very close to securing the Zhonya's. With 3 items, sure, he's not going to be as strong as Zeka is, but he'll be strong enough to be a real threat to Deft. Note, though, that the stopwatch has been picked up for Deft, and that means he's going to have a lot more survivability, especially with his flash up for the next fight.
Oh, look at this. Zeka going to start shadowing Kingen here, both level 18. Those soul laners for DRX are a threat here, to be sure. Zeka will get spotted by this ward, but can they retreat? Here comes Pyosik around.
Shirelli has to get away as fast as possible. They know how much threat there is. Scout was back in base, stops to get his Zhonya's. 3 items to 4. He's a full death cap behind.
It's the move towards Baron, though. DRX, the blue trinket is used, so they can clear that out, and now EDG just don't know. But it's Scout actually trying to go down towards bot side. They're going to try to see if they can find a pick, but if they spot Scout, it could trigger DRX to actually start up the Baron.
What? Meiko's nearly killable. I mean, Ravenous Hydra helped with that one as well. The extra splash coming through.
Wait, Fiora's coming!
Here comes Kingen, but only kills a ward. Meiko might have to fully recall, and that gives a lot of space. You can see they're on the way back up to the Baron. DRX with a game-winning play. Baron probably seals the deal.
I don't think EDG can contest this. They're going to try. Meiko is so far away. Zeka on zone control once again.
They're just stunned. That's the shield popped out, and they got to disengage. The stun is huge. Has to flash to safety. Be careful. Pyosik's at half. Kingen spotted out, looking for damage out of that, and Deft burns his stopwatch.
They get the stopwatch, and they do get mid lane control. And now DRX doesn't have time to start the Baron again here, and the Dragon's going to be spawning at 15, so it's a play for the reset here. Flandre's spotting them. Deft actually cancels the base. He does have his TP, so he should be able to get to the Dragon in time. But it buys time for EDG. They can get into the bot side river and potentially get a little bit of vision.
They're playing for the vision play. Blue trinkets are all the way down. They don't know they're all mid. They don't know they're all mid. And that's a polymorph. Repose, not possible. Deft has a flash, and he'll stay safe. But without a top laner, how do you fight as DRX?
A massive pick onto Kingen. He does have the TP, but he does have 50 seconds on the death timer. EDG now setting up for the Dragon. Let's see if Deft can land the poke to potentially be a game changer.
These Van Q's goes ulti back up. 4K health should be a clean smite. Whoa, it's stolen! Pyosik gets the Ocean Soul! DRX don't need a top laner. They got a summoner spell. Viper attack stays alive. Double stun. Deft will not fall. Zeka will not allow it. Going with the quadra kill in his first ever World Championship. And on his back, he lifts the world. He lifts DRX, and New York erupts as DRX march for the Nexus.
Zeka takes the Quadra, and he claims his rightful place in the World Championship semifinals.
2,942 days ago, Deft won a World's quarterfinal, and today, thanks to Zeka, he does it again.
The reverse sweep happens for DRX. Deft is able to remove the curse of quarterfinals, and he will find an incredible win over the reigning world champions. He will not only defeat his former organization, but he will stay alive in the World 2022 Championship.
Beautiful moment there, hugs between Deft and Scout, Deft and Meiko exchanging an embrace there. They get to take their time here to celebrate. DRX overcoming the 0-2 start here against EDG, taking down the defending world champs in what was an incredible series here. Just what a monster performance, though, from Zeka when it mattered most. The 19-year-old here for DRX.
Oh, yeah.
You may not have heard of him before Worlds. You certainly have now.
It's a roster of defying expectations. We talked so much about it. This year, no one was even paying attention to DRX. But before we get into that, we have to commiserate EDG, the reigning world champions. They put on a heck of a show. They're going to be frustrated Scout is going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
He had a phenomenal series, and in Game 5, Zeka got the better of him.
And
That's not to say that EDG did not put up one hell of a fight.
It certainly did. This was, such a memorable series, so many memorable games here as well, so many incredible moments. It was a quarter second from being 3-1. The Nexus rush nearly worked. Deft almost single-handedly took that one. At the end of the day, it was Zeka with, he took that little bit extra in an overextension from Scout. And from there, just took 3 more solo kills back to back to back and said, you gave me an inch, I took your entire team.
And what a birthday present for Deft. Happy birthday to him. He's going to the semifinals.